You listen to episode 39. Keep it on till the end.
What's up to our sidekicks and henchfolk out there in the Geek Nation? We're here to talk about Fresh Floppies. A floppy is a monthly comic book that comes out, and then you read it, and then
I think that's a disservice. They come out monthly, but weekly comics are available.
Every single Wednesday is new comic book day.
Sometimes Tuesdays.
Fuck off, DC. All right, so every Tuesday is DC's new comic book day, but Wednesday is literally everyone else.
In the 21st century, you're not allowed to make blanket statements.
Sorry.
You just actually
have to make sure
everything is qualified.
Yes.
Yeah. So, comics.
We're here to talk about comics, Fresh Floppies. We will be telling you if they are fresh, if they're fresh AF, if they're barely fresh, if my alarm is going off because I have to do 10 push-ups.
Just turn it off. We're not right now.
Hold on, let me just do my 10 push-ups.
Oh, Jesus.
All right, start us off with Ghost Machine.
Ghost Machine. This is a weird book, in so much as it's a lot of books. So this is
it's Image.
Yeah, it's by Image, but Ghost Machine itself is the name of the new imprint, a collective, if you will.
I will.
Of creators just by the name of Peter J. Tomasi, Jeff Johns, Brian Hitch, Gary Frank, Justin Fabok, Francis Manipul, Brad Meltzer, Ivan Reis, Peter Snedberg, and Maytel Schutt. I've never heard of them.
I've never heard of Maytel
and Lamont McGee.
Or Lamont McGee. They are new to me.
So this is they're building an imprint. That's pretty much it. It's connected universe stories. Well, I think they're all connected universe stories. Maybe not.
They are.
The other ones in the back didn't seem like they needed to be. If they were or they weren't,
I don't
so
think
it doesn't
they
really
need
matter.
to be. I just think they are.
This that came out, Ghost Machine #1 by Image Comics, only $4.99, about 65 pages, is a primer for absolutely all of the stuff that they have come. Well, no, that's not true.
Not all
the
of
stuff they have coming this April, this spring. There are still some other books that are teased. So I thought that this was going to be like a history of the universe, or just like a one of those manuals, which it kind of is, but it's also
it's got elements
a shit ton of like good 5-6 page stories.
Yeah.
And I liked it.
Did you check out? What is it?
I've read them all.
Somna?
Geiger.
No.
Oh, Somna?
Distillery. Have you checked out the Distillery stuff? Because
Distillery
is another publisher. I didn't realize Ghost Machine was part of Image. I thought it was like Distillery was its own publisher. So it's kind of neat that it is Image. But yeah, you and I both read Geiger.
Yeah.
We read the 80-page Giant, which also had the red code in it, and etc. Junkyard Joe is another one.
That was a whole series. It was good.
Have you? Okay, so you've been enjoying the Geiger verse.
Yeah. There's so far there's been one miniseries of Geiger, one big one shot, a miniseries of Junkyard Joe, which was great. And then two issue of Geiger.
Yeah, that just
it's
wrapped
been 2 years that they've just kind of been doing. And honestly, I don't know how far they are ahead, because Gary Frank is not a fast illustrator. And these books, every time they announce them, these books come out on time like clockwork. So I imagine they're like 2 years ahead.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So what did you think of this primer?
This was cool. I liked. Overall, this was cool. There are multiple creative teams in this bitch. Let's see. So we get so much. The Unnamed, which it seems as though
it's funny because they all have names.
It seems as though this imprint. It seems as though this imprint is in factions of types of stories. So like types of genres. The first one being the Unnamed, which is their kind of post-apocalyptic, almost hero-esque universe. This is the more like, this feels more like Jeff Johns.
Yeah.
There's a short story of Geiger by Johns and Frank, a short story of Redcoat by Jeff Johns and Brian Hitch. Redcoat is an immortal guy that he fought in the Revolutionary War, and he just hasn't been able to die since. He seems like an asshole, which is enjoyable.
So, I don't think there's a hero in this bunch yet that I've met.
Well, Geiger's a hero.
Yeah, sort of, I guess.
He doesn't
really care. He just gets roped into things, kind of like.
He's an anti-hero.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
like John Constantine.
He's not a
yeah. Same thing with Redcoat, John Constantine, kind of an asshole.
Bit. Yeah, I can see that.
Well, he's a British asshole. That's all you need. That's
Yeah.
all it is. So
It's the threshold for me.
all of these characters have gotten their abilities due to war.
Yeah, because we also are randomly introduced to not the unknown soldier. Yeah, is it the unknown soldier? The unknown?
The Northerner, Redcoat,
Northerner.
the Monster, Junkyard Joe, American Widow X, the First Ghost, the Unknown War, which is an event, and then Geiger.
Okay. Yes. So we'll see what all that is connected and how. But it's kind of cool. That's the whole first 20 pages of this book.
Yeah.
And this section ends with stat sheets of our main characters that we've met so far, some that we have not met, including President Sarah Nash, who is going to be in The First Ghost by Brad Meltzer. And, well, we don't know the artist yet. But, yeah, this was cool. And then the second part is Rook, Exodus. Which is all sci-fi with a cool-ass conceit as far as I'm concerned. Farmers who left Earth to go populate/propagate on another planet, and they all have masks that allow them to control species and phyla of specific animals. So you've got one with birds, one with swine, one with wolves, one with blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But now it's like shit goes bad, and it's almost like a war between or factions of these
Wardens, they're called.
Wardens. That's right.
They're wardens. Yeah.
Very cool. That's
and
Jeff
our
Johns and Jason Fabok.
Yeah, and our main dude,
Rook.
Birdie, is the Birdie boy, is just trying to get pieces of a ship so that he can get off this planet. And he's got a little buddy Swine who commands all the pigs. What did you thought this was cool?
Yeah,
I wasn't sure yet.
I thought it was a cool conceit. So the short story, which is about 5 or 6 pages, was like, yeah, whatever. But then when I read the actual stat sheets of Rook, Swine, Direwolf, and then the choose your animal, and it shows a bunch of the other masks and animals associated with, I was like, okay, this might be kind of cool. Like, the short story itself didn't really do much for me because it didn't really... But the thought and the setup and the potential of... I don't know, it did give me Lantern vibes.
Oh, I see.
Different types of...
Yeah.
And then how some will work with others and some may work off of each other. There's potential here. I think there's cool potential.
Do they interact?
I'm just looking at the animals, and and they do, like, it ends with them saying, like, the War of the Wardens. So there's going to be factions, there's going to be betrayals. Oh, like, this might be kind of cool. I am not a huge fan of Justin Fabok, but when he is doing his Gary Frank impressions, I'm like, yeah, this is great.
Yeah, this is Gary Frank, right?
Yeah. He's very much, like, he doesn't ape Gary Frank, but he is very much in the style of Gary Frank. And you know what? If Ivan Reis and Gary Frank had a baby,
there you go.
It'd be Justin Fabok.
There you go.
Yeah. Jeff Johns definitely has a type.
Yeah.
And then
I thought those were cool, but I wasn't wowed. Like, oh man, I cannot wait for this. If this book never comes out, I'll forget about it.
So it started to fall apart a little bit for me with the Family Odysseys, which is he's making faces.
I'm making faces.
The all ages imprint.
Yeah.
The first, both by Peter J. Tomasi, with art by Francis Manapul and Peter Snedberg. The Rockefellers, which I can't get my mouth around, and I hate the name of it.
Yeah.
But it's pretty cute.
It's pretty cute.
It's pretty cute.
I actually got more involved because of the Family Odysseys imprint stuff.
And then the Hornsby and Halo.
Yeah.
I loved.
It was great.
I absolutely loved the idea of nature versus nurture on a cosmic level with just two 12-year-olds.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Absolutely awesome.
I love both of these. I was like, oh, these both look like a lot of fun.
The Rockefellers, the tone of it, it's really hard to tell because it's a short story.
Yeah.
Like, it's just 5 pages and they squeeze a lot in. If the full story is this kind of like everyone broadly gesticulating and talking loudly, I might get a little tired of it.
Well, it was during a chase scene.
It's just the way that they talk to each other, and like it's like overly expository dialogue, which is a function for a short story.
Yeah.
But
to introduce us to these people.
I want this to breathe a little bit more because the art is phenomenal. I love Francis Manapul.
Oh, it's so good.
And Peter J. Tomasi is so good with these kind of family stories and voices of kids. Yep. So, I mean, I'm going to pick up the first issue. I just was more wowed by Hornsby and Halo.
Yeah. Although I do, I'm not a huge Peter
Snedberg.
Snaberg fan.
No,
I know him from Preacher way back in the day.
and
this
I think
is
he
better.
did some Vampirella. Let's swap the two artists.
Right. But yeah, Hornsby and Halo, fun.
And then we get to the
then-
section that's yours.
Yeah, so they're also going to be doing horror books. So from Hyde Street. So basically, think Fear Street, but Hyde Street. Or Elm Street. Every town has a Hyde Street apparently, and this is sort of like where all the horror stuff happens. I don't think we get enough in this storyline.
No, this is
This is just like the first 3 pages of the book, I think, as opposed to a complete little short story to wet your whistle for the upcoming book.
So this broke apart. This broke down. This broke me a little bit. The Hyde part. As much as I dug pieces of it, it was the most disheveled of the sections.
Yes.
It starts with like one quick short story, a la Creep Show or Tales from the Crypt. Then it attempts to go like broad with we're everywhere, we're in every city, and then it shows some stuff that is incongruous, like. And then one page of a different story.
Yeah, it starts a whole
and
different
then finishes the other. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a little, as a sampler, it's a little too disjointed, but the art's beautiful. I'd read all
Yvonne
these
Reese.
stories, and it's fine. This was so worth $5.
Oh my God.
This is fucking rad. And there isn't a single one of these series that I'm not going to sample.
Oh, I'm definitely going to check all of them out.
What's in the current previews, in the current solicitations, Geiger, Exodus, and Redcoat all come out on the same day in April. And
I don't know if I like that.
and they're all Jeff Johns.
I don't know if I like that. You should space them out.
April 3rd is like the big push for Ghost Machine, and Geiger, Redcoat, and Rook, Exodus all come out.
Wow. That's for a industry that has so many books coming out every week, and a lot of them are Marvel and DC, to ask new readers to buy 3 whole issues of 3 new series on the same day, along with their other subscriptions.
I keep thinking of
a bit much for me.
something that our Lord and Savior Brian Michael Bendis said once. No, just kidding. In regards to his creator-owned stuff, when he moved to DC, he launched like three DC books and then like 3 creator-owned, all in the same like 60-day span. Yeah. And when he moved over to Dark Horse, he was like, I'm never doing that again.
Yeah.
Cover got lost. Pearl got lost. The Scarlet like continuation nobody touched, and it was just too much. So now
Was
he's
this
like,
on like Word Balloon or something?
Yeah. But now he's like, no, one book at a time.
Yeah.
So that's why you're seeing just like Joy Operations, the ones, and it's just always one book at a time because
man. You're spreading yourself too thin.
you cut into your own market.
There it is. Yes. That being said, I will try each of those.
Oh yeah, no, we're gonna talk about all of them on the show. Wait, no. We're gonna talk about Titans Beast World next. But you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna fucking take over this show.
Oh, okay.
And I want to talk about a book that no one's talking about, and it's pissing me off.
Is it?
It's God's number 4, written by Jonathan Hickman and Valerio Schiti. Literally one of the absolute best writers, storytellers in this format, in this genre, in this space. Is crushing it on a top tier book, and it's not a part of the conversation online or anything. And I don't fucking understand.
I've noticed that as well. I was like, how come everyone was so excited for Gods? No one's talking about it.
This is legit the best Hickman I have read since Hoxpox. It is so fucking good. Wow. It's not even the same Hickman too. This is like swashbuckling, cute comedy, giant stakes. Issue 4 is what just came out, and it is a story told. It has to deal with time travel a little bit. So you're seeing like when the main character and Doctor Strange are trying to stop a dude from erasing all of reality. Boom, and they start to do it, and then you see this character's the bad guy's backstory, and then it goes back to the same moment of them trying to stop him, and then you see more of his backstory, and then back to the same moment, and you realize towards the middle of the book, like, oh, Doctor Strange is continually manipulating the time time so they could keep gaining 1 second on this guy, and or a millisecond on this guy. It is structured beautifully. These characters are so fully fleshed out. It's disgusting. Valerio Schiti, I've never seen him do this well. There is so much love in this fucking book. I'm starting to get upset that people aren't talking about it.
Start tweeting about it, bitch.
This has been my favorite Hickman since Fantastic Four.
Wow.
This is so fucking good.
Wow. I read the first issue. We read it
giant size first issue.
Yeah, which was amazing. And then I just forgot to keep reading. So I'm definitely going to jump back on and read 2, 3, and 4.
It's complex, but there is nothing inaccessible about this book. I know people complain about him being inaccessible all the time. Nope.
All right. So the first issue that we reviewed came out, and we said it's like a little trade paperback.
Yeah.
It's its own little one and done. Issues 2, 3, and 4, do those follow the same, or is it another story?
Issue 1 is this story, like one large story, and they stop it. Yeah. They stop the threat. Mm-hmm. Issue 2, 3, and 4 is like a sequel to that first story.
Okay.
It's a continuation, but it's almost a jumping on point at issue 2. Mm-hmm. It's like it really does feel like a sequel. Like I saw this really great movie, and then like 6 months later, they're following up on it.
Great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But
just flipping through the book makes me want to read it.
And
looks so good.
this issue here is the first time that they've referred to that first issue.
Okay. Cool. Nice.
I don't have no idea how this is going to be collected. Issue 1 was like 80 pages long.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
We'll
see.
find out.
Yeah. But yeah, sorry to derail. What do you want to talk about?
Let's talk about Titans Beast World number 5. This is the penultimate issue to the event wherein Gar, the Beast Boy, has turned himself into a Starro the Conqueror and sent out a bunch of little baby Starros, Garros. He's called Garro, of course. And has been turned a million human beings into different human-esque animals. Mm-hmm. And they've been murdering everyone. And then in the last issue, Amanda Waller was given kind of basically full power by the president to do whatever she wants. And so in this issue, she's like, hey, we're going to murder all those people.
We're going to corral them and murder them.
We murdered Gar, the Beast Boy, the Titan, using the beautiful sacrifice of Chester Runk, who didn't sacrifice himself. He was fooled into doing it.
And they killed his kid.
And they,
Forced.
Forced, yeah.
Yeah.
They just basically teleported him into Garro's brain, and his ability is to suck things into another dimension. So he sucks Garro's brain and himself into another dimension.
Yeah. Killing
them both, that as far as we know. And so now we're dealing with the fallout of this in this issue. What did you think? There's a big reveal. Dr. Hate, who we've been seeing for the past bunch of issues, is revealed.
Since Night Terrors.
Yeah. We won't spoil it, don't worry.
I'm enjoying this series, but I think the I wouldn't even call it a problem, just the thing I said a couple issues ago about I don't know why this is an event. Yeah. It just feels like a Arc of Titans. Mm-hmm. And that became more that was validated even. First of all, I really like this issue. Yeah. It's wonderful. The art is wonderful. I'm enjoying the story. It's fantastic. But when I read the Titans tie-in issues, it makes me think even more that this is just a Titans arc because those are like filler. Yeah. Like, oh, this happened in the 2 minutes that was not over there, and it's like.
Then it should have just been a Titans book.
Yeah, I think it should have just been a Titans book. Or don't do the Titans book for 2 months while you do this or something like that. Mm-hmm. There's weight to this book, especially.
This feels big to me.
There's weight to this book, but I don't know. It's intangible. It doesn't feel like an event, just like how Night Terrors didn't feel like a fucking event. It just felt like cool mini. Yeah. I don't know what makes an event an event.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
whether or not title aside, or designation aside.
Yeah, it was good.
You liked it?
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
I like Tom Taylor. I like Yvonne Reese. I even like Lucas Meyer, who's been filling in for Yvonne Reese. It's a strong book. I dig the hell out of it. Yeah, it's just I'm ready for the end.
Okay.
Yeah. How did you feel about the reveal?
I was confused by it.
Yeah, me too.
Because I am not as up on my Titans as I used to be.
Mm-hmm.
So the big reveal was like, oh. I mean, I got it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
We both got it. But we weren't aware of how we got there before this series.
Which honestly, like on its face, that's perfect comic booking. The idea of like you do a last page reveal and at least just with context that's in the book, you're good.
Yep.
I hate that. We've talked about that before. I hate that when it's just like somebody opens the door and it's a character you don't know who the hell that is, and the book is telling you like you should be shocked.
Yeah.
Like
Huh? Yep. This is not that.
No,
Yeah,
I guessed Dr. Hate a couple months ago and I was wrong.
Who did you guess? Oh wait, don't say.
I mean, I can't say.
You can't say because
because then it was
Never mind,
spoiled.
shut up.
Maybe I'm not the only one that thought that. Yeah.
Oh, are we wrapping it up with Star Wars?
Well, I did read something else.
Oh, do you want to do that first?
Yeah, we'll do that. Return of Magneto.
Resurrection of Magneto.
Whatever.
Number 1.
The Resurrection of Magneto, number 1 by Al Ewing with art by
Vecchio.
Luciano
Vecchio.
Vecchio.
Yup, I did not read it. Take it away. Oh.
There's a lot in this book.
Oh. Okay.
As in, have you ever been in a place where you're like, let's say you go to a restaurant.
Okay.
Let's say you go to a restaurant.
Red Lobster.
No. Let's say you go to a restaurant and you look at the menu. It's got pictures, but it's in a different language.
Okay.
And then you ask the waitstaff, would you help me decipher what I want to order? I have a good idea of what I want to order because these pictures look wonderful, but I just want to make sure some clarity. And the waitstaff looks at you and smacks you in the face and asks you why you're here.
Yeah.
For a number 1, that's how this book felt.
Oh.
Would I in another circumstance, in a different context, find a meal on this menu that makes me incredibly happy? Absolutely. Mm-hmm. But it would have required me to read 3 or 4 other series over the last 3 years.
I see. That has been I don't know. I don't want to speak for you. That has been my problem with the Krakoa era kind of since year 2, where I kind of fell off because there were so many miniseries going on and different creative teams would be doing the next miniseries, but I wouldn't know how to jump from one to the other.
Oh, I knew.
There's too much.
It's even less than that. I knew that this is a continuation of X-Men Red, which I've not been reading.
How'd you know that?
Just because the creative team and Magneto on it. Like,
so if you don't follow.
Well,
I mean, Magneto. So wait, X-Men Red, Magneto. There was the death of Magneto like a year ago, right?
No. Well, yeah, he did die a year ago, but that wasn't a miniseries. It was the Trial of Magneto.
Trial of Magneto.
Yeah, that was.
Oh, but he
separate
died.
altogether.
When did he die?
He died during
The Hellfire Gala?
Judgment Day. He died during Judgment Day.
Oh.
Uranus, the Eternal, laid waste to Araco.
Okay,
He's been dead for a while.
Yeah.
I even read and so that's fine. This is a number 1 though, so I need some sort of footing, and they give it to me, but they give it to me in
I see a lot of text.
Baroque prose, and it's just. It was a little bit of a boring read, and I love Al Ewing. I even went so far as to read I don't always read the introductions. I read them all, and it's like I read this, and I knew all these beats. I knew about the Gala. I know about Orcus. I know about the Brotherhood and Storm and Magneto living on Araco, and they destroyed their backups.
Araco is Mars.
It's Mars.
Yeah.
And they destroyed their backups, so there's no resurrection protocols for them.
Oh, yeah,
I know all this.
Yeah.
And that's what that said. I still had no idea what the fuck was going on in this book.
Wow. Okay.
She
Storm.
being Storm has a dream of Magneto and realizes I need to go find him. We need to resurrect him. So then she goes. And also, there's threads from the Defenders series in here.
That's what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see. Marvel.
Yeah.
What's
the
it?
Defenders and Defenders Beyond. There's like a very large part of the plot that has to do with the book, which I didn't finish.
I never finished those either.
And then she jumps into, with their help, she jumps into this afterlife that apparently, which I didn't know about, the Scarlet Witch created an afterlife specifically for mutants between realms. Between resurrections between realms, which I didn't know about or how she could do it. No. But Storm decides to go in there and look for Magneto.
Oh. Huh.
And then there's this character who's never heard of, and he's big and scary, and then she has a conversation with a goddess from 1,000 years ago that looks like her, and they refer to some other book, and then a bunch of flashbacks of her and Magneto that I don't remember.
It's a good-looking book. I'm watching you flip through it.
Excellent looking
nice
book.
Art.
The layouts are fantastic. They bring in the phalanx, which I don't know how that.
Oh, the phalanx.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very pretty book.
Yeah.
But it's a culmination. It's the culmination of 70 things that I didn't have the pleasure or time to experience.
Yeah.
As an entry point, this is absolute garbage. As a conclusion, I assume to X-Men Red, probably phenomenal.
Yeah. If you were reading X-Men.
Yeah, I have enjoyed so much about the Krakoa era, but I'm ready.
Yeah, man.
I'm ready.
I hate this. I hate that they do just have it be X-Men Red. If you're gonna do miniseries, yes, don't have it be X-Men Red and then Resurrection of Magneto. Have it be X-Men Red, Resurrection of Magneto. Like, at least let the people know if they're on that path, right? If they're reading this corner of the Krakoa corner of the Marvel Universe, where you should be headed.
In good faith, this is deserves a retitling because it's the larger culmination. In bad faith, they're juicing numbers for a new number one.
Drives me nuts. Anyway.
This is a really pretty book, but god damn it.
Yeah,
it's wildly inaccessible for anybody that hasn't been day and date with all of their Krakoa stuff.
Well, Star Wars Thrawn Alliances #1 came out by Zahn and Hauser. Timothy Zahn, Jody Hauser are the writers. Pat O'Leaf and Andrea DeVito are the artists, and Rachel Rosenberg is the colorist. So I am told, Noel, that Thrawn is one of the most popular characters of the EU, right? The since discontinued legends of Star Wars, right? And so popular and so beloved that the guy who wrote the original Thrawn trilogy came back and in continuity wrote 2 new Thrawn trilogies.
Mm-hmm.
And we see him in Rebels and we see him in the Ahsoka TV show. And I have yet to discover why he's so beloved. He is a very soft-spoken strategist. He's great at strategy. And so I keep trying. I started the last comic series, which was just called Thrawn, also by Hauser. And I haven't finished it yet. I got a little sleepy. But I was like, you know what? New #1, we'll check it out. The only thing that's keeping me on board for this is the fact that we have Thrawn and Vader sent on a mission together.
Mm-hmm.
And Vader, who normally barks orders and everyone goes, yes, sir, or they choke out. Thrawn is like, nah, I'm gonna do this other thing. Which I find interesting. And so that's sort of ticking off Vader. Vader is also trying to command Thrawn's troops, and Thrawn's like, hold up, dog. These are mine. Plus, we get a backstory with Padme Amidala and Anakin, and a mystery that's going on there, which I also found kind of interesting. So, Thrawn and Vader are sent to a world because there's a disturbance in the Force as far as the Palps is concerned.
Mm.
And so, I'm hanging on by a thread on this one. I'm just interested enough that I'm going to check out #2. I think it's fresh enough. Where'd you drop?
I was bored.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like I'm being gaslit by all of Star Wars fandom telling me that Thrawn is the best, and I've yet to see it or read it.
It's not just me. Great.
No, I'm a little bored by it, and also too, it is interesting to have him and Vader kind of together, but all it does is successfully make Vader look like a petulant shit.
Mm-hmm. Which he is.
Yeah,
knowing what we know of Annie.
But knowing what we know of Annie, knowing what we know of him, he'd be murdering people left and right around Thrawn.
Yeah.
Like, he's just a bitch. Now, is something going to be revealed in the backstory that makes him act like a bitch around Thrawn? Maybe. I don't know if I care. That sounds very harsh.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil anything, but they do have a previous history.
I mean, look, that's a fucking content 101. The fact that, like, when you introduce two seemingly separate plot lines, they do eventually merge together in the same space because they're related to each other. That's just how it works, whether people show up or not. They're telling me this backstory because it has direct relation or causation to the current story.
Sure, yeah.
It's fine. So
I just did not
maybe
expect them to have already met.
It's just, in a weird way, it's mildly irrelevant, is what I'm saying. Like, I still don't know what makes this guy so great, and throwing him against other, like, canon events, I'm not exactly sure how interested I am.
Okay.
You know?
Valid.
Yeah.
This is the first time that I'm like, well, that's not true. I really liked him in Rebels. But as far as, like, reading about him, this is the first time that I'm like, oh, I'll probably...
Yeah.
I'm probably on the hook for this because of all the other stuff that's going on around him.
And if anybody wants to attack me, I have actually been loving every other Star Wars series.
That was going to be my next question.
Yeah, I've been reading Star Wars proper by Charles Soule. Bounty Hunters by Ethan Sachs is probably the best Star Wars book I've read in a very, very, very long time.
That's awesome.
The Kira events have been great.
Yeah. Which were, just real quick,
A War of the Bounty Hunters,
Crimson
Rain, and Hidden Empire. I mean, the Darth Vader book is always good by Greg Pak. And the only one that it's good, but it's breezy and kind of like, like, oh, okay, whatever, is Alyssa Wong's Dr. Aphra. It's weird. I read it and I know that this is a solid book. This is cool. It doesn't have the same kind of like, holy shit, that the other books have for me.
All right.
It's like flippant.
No one else cares about this but me. But I'm also trying to catch up on Star Wars.
Yeah.
How are you reading it? Are you reading it a trade at a time?
Yeah, trade at a time.
You're not going, because a lot of it is Star Wars, then the next issue's Darth Vader, then the next issue's Bounty Hunters, then the next issue's Aphra. You just do Star Wars in a trade paperback, Vader in a trade paperback. Okay, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, because they, like, even with the events, they're not that married to each other that I have to read it interchanging issues.
Yeah.
Like, since Jump, this era of Star Wars, since Jump, I've only been reading it in trades.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I tried doing it issue to issue, and I couldn't do it.
I'll integrate the trades.
Yeah.
So, like, I'll read Star Wars Volume 2 and then
Vader
Volume 2,
yes,
and then
yes.
but not issue to issue. That's unnecessary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I've been trying to catch up on Star Wars. I've been loving a lot of the Marvel stuff.
Yeah, if you're already in the bag for Thrawn, you're going to love it.
Yeah. If you're a Thrawn stan, simp. All right, guys. Join us tonight.
Tonight we're going to talk about
Crisis?
DC Animated Universe Crisis, Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 1, which is, I guess, the Tomorrowverse.
I don't know what that is.
I don't either,
I've heard
man.
it called as the Tomorrowverse, but I don't know what that is.
The DCAEU.
I don't know.
Already ended.
Yeah.
That was with Apocalypse War. That was the Flashpoint universe.
Yeah. And then since then, it's been the Tomorrowverse?
I guess so.
All right. We'll be talking about it tonight.
Yay!
All right. We'll talk at you later.
Do.
Thank you for listening to the CultPop Network, home to podcasts, live shows, and a whole lot of fun stuff for every flavor of fan. Follow us wherever you find your favorite podcasts, and be sure to join us live every Wednesday night at youtube.com/CultPopGo at 8 p.m. Eastern. While you're there, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you'll know when we drop new Thunder Rounds and episodes of Fresh Floppies, a spoiler-free show about single-issue comics released each week. Until then, we'll talk at you later.